Ladder match has been thrown out. Now we have an I Quit match. Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger for the number one contendership to Dolph Ziggler's, I'm assuming, if they don't have to strip him of it, World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm not as excited about this as I would have been the ladder match. It's not going to be as good, but it should still be halfway decent, if not, a pretty damn good match.
In the build-up to WrestleMania, we were talking about this feud getting an appropriate gimmick blow-off where they just are allowed to, to kill one another.
Yeah, and I got to commend WWE on this. Way to take a negative situation and go in the best possible route. What better way to make up for your world champion having a concussion and not being able to do a ladder match than to have an I Quit match between two people that have a submission finisher and are in a feud with each other, and you can give it to them for the number one contendership, which was basically all they were feuding over in the first place.
Yeah, and they were the people that were in the match with him anyway.
Yeah.
So, and it really is good that Ziggler was paired up with these two for a program, so that they weren't ever expecting him to get this serious horrible concussion or anything like that. But this feud, it's gotten the buzz has toned down since WrestleMania, but it was always a feud we thought was at least somewhat generally interesting between the two of them. It's kind of gotten a little convoluted with Ziggler being in the mix, but I Quit as a gimmick is usually pretty good. I'm sure these two could do something really, really good with it. I'm actually looking forward to it a lot. Maybe not as much as a ladder match, since it's actually one of my favorite gimmicks that the WWE has, but I can't commend them enough on this replacement. I believe Del Rio is going to win, and then he's going to go on and feud with Ziggler over the title whenever he gets cleared to return to competition. But yeah, this should be a really good one, and a good war to settle the score between the two men anyway, that's for sure. An appropriate blow-off.
All right, around the horn. Peyton, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Del Rio as far as the winner on this. I mean, as far as what happened in the match, I am a huge, huge fan of ladder matches. I mean, over on the Keeping Kayfabe podcast, I think 2 weeks ago, we were talking about the TLC ladder match between the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. And it just reminds me how much I love those ladder matches and the Money in the Bank matches. And it was cool just to see a regular old ladder match happening on a pay-per-view like this. But let's face it, the star of the ladder match would have been Dolph Ziggler. So if he's not going to be there, it's okay. Mm-hmm. And as you said, it says they're making a great situation out of this. You got two guys who have submission finishers. It's perfect for this. So I think we're going to see a lot of tense moments. I think Swagger is still going to look pretty good. I don't think he's just going to be made to look like a jabroni in this, but I do expect Del Rio to go on and face Ziggler or whoever he may.
Brandon?
Yeah, I think this is an appropriate blow-off for their WrestleMania feud. Del Rio's going to win. I can't say anything really more about this. It's really all been said and done. They've been doing this Del Rio Jack Swagger feud for long enough. It's time to end it. Bring it home.
Braden?
Hello?
Braden? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I gave my opinion at the start. I do believe Alberto Del Rio is winning this match 100%. As I said, it's an appropriate blow off to the feud. It's especially if they get to use crutches again.
That might actually factor into it.
I hope so, because that was extremely fun to watch the first time. That's what kind of brought up Extreme Rules for us entirely for the when we were actually talking about WrestleMania. So as long as they get to beat the shit out of each other, I'll be entertained.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm going with Swagger on this one. It's because of the fact that they're saying that they're going to elongate this feud a bit more in order to give Ziggler time to heal up and get back into the ring. So I expect this feud to continue up until probably SummerSlam.
Miguel?
I would agree with Burhan if it wasn't for the fact that it was for a number one contender shot. I don't see Swagger versus Ziggler for the next pay-per-view. Heel versus heel does nothing for me. It makes too much sense to have Del Rio win, so I'm going to go with Del Rio.
One thing I want to bring up that I didn't think about until Burhan just went with Swagger. They could always just have him win the match, have a number one contenders thing at Raw, have Del Rio interfere, and then do that ladder match at Payback. Because they never said it's the number one contender
I
for a
think that
match
ship
of
sailed.
Payback. I think that it's a possibility. I mean, it's not one I'm banking on, but
Well, at the moment, as I said, they're looking to, from what's been said on the various online sites. This is just takes as rumor at the moment. The WWE doesn't want to take the title off of Ziggler. They are looking to keep the feud going between the three of them, Ziggler, Swagger, and Del Rio. So probably might be healed up by time for Payback. So that may actually happen because Swagger in general he will end up getting taken out of the main event, but I don't think it'll be like too soon. So I see this as a situation where he'll end up winning and then end up having Del Rio either cost him the match or just something will happen to get this storyline over to the next pay-per-view.
Well, what points are on the line for this?
Well, this is another one of those funny situations. Both of these men are on Team Jester.
Jester's going to win.
Yeah.
All right, we have two more left. Brock Lesnar and Triple H and John Cena and Ryback. Next part 10, Steel Cage match.